Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and I want to talk to you today about an amazing herb that is recently emerging as a kind of super herb for the nervous system. The herb is called Bacopa. It's an Ayurvedic herb that has been treating neurological and nervous system conditions for thousands of years. It recently has been studied to treat anxiety, depression, memory loss, focus ability, attention deficit, learning and cognitive function. It's an herb that seems to increase the circulation of the brain so we have more energy to be more calm, more energy to be more focused. It's an herb that seems to increase the circulation of the brain so the neurotransmitters can activate receptor sites more efficiently. In one study in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, Bacopa increased the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and acetylcholine to treat anxiety and depression. The Drug Digest reported and said that Bacopa seemed to nearly match the effectiveness of prescription anti-anxiety medications. So here's an herb that seems to really boost up, pay off that exhaustive debt that we have that seems to affect our ability to stabilize mood and maintain, optimal cognitive function. And for our kids who are having difficulty in school, learning and focusing and kind of digging into their homework, this is an incredibly safe herb I've been using for many, many years for attention deficit issues with kids. It's just a phenomenal herb for that. It's also interesting, we have a culture that in one recent ABC News report showed that 1 in 7 Americans are diagnosed with depression each year. 13% of the Americans are diagnosed with anxiety. 10% of our kids are diagnosed with poor memory function, many of which have attention deficit syndrome that oftentimes carries over into adult life. So it's important to realize that not only, of course, an herb is going to be the cure-all for this condition, a healthy lifestyle, avoiding toxic foods and preservatives and pesticides, extremely important. I've written many articles about this subject. I've written books about this subject. It's something I believe passionately in. But I also wanted to introduce to you this particular herb that seems to do it all. It's an herb that seems to give us that extra boost of nervous system function so we can handle stress better, more like water off a duck's back, so it doesn't impact us nearly as severely and break ourselves down. In addition, what's beautiful about this herb, it seems to treat conditions like asthma, allergies, stomach ulcers, digestive issues. And I talk a lot about this in my other newsletters where we talk about how stress impacts the intestinal mucosa and causes all types of digestive issues and detoxification problems, how stress impacts the respiratory tract and causes allergies and asthma. These kinds of conditions are actually treated by this herb Bacopa because Bacopa seems to sever the relationship between the stress and the respiratory mucosa and the digestive mucosa, allowing the intestinal tract and the respiratory tract to handle the stress, again, like water off a duck's back. So we don't succumb to the degenerative impact of stress on our nervous system, stress on our digestive system, and stress on our respiratory tract. So it's a pretty powerful thing, particularly with kids who really are very vulnerable to respiratory tract concerns. Definitely, without many of us realizing it, our kids do not have strong digestion. They have baby digestion that is just beginning to understand how to tolerate some of these very hard to digest foods that we eat on a regular basis. So boosting and protecting the digestive and respiratory mucosa is huge, as well as having that ability to protect the nervous system in such a way. So please go to my website, read more about this herb called Bacopa. In the article associated with this video, I cite many of the studies that have been done on this particular herb, and also go to my website and check out many of the articles and the newsletters I've written about the lifestyle to support a healthy and optimal functioning nervous system, as well as a digestive system and digestive system that work well for the rest of your life. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard.